Hello, Unravelers. Welcome back to Tiff Unraveled. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I'm Tiff. Today, well, let me start by saying I'm sorry I've been away for like the last week. I've been under the weather more than a few days this week with one thing, and then yesterday another thing kind of hit, and I started feeling crappy again in a different way. But you work in healthcare, you try to stay safe, you try to be careful. Sometimes, especially this time of year, we encounter so many people on a daily basis, and it's just bound to happen. So forgive me if I sound a little low energy or a little nasally or weird, but I missed talking to you guys this week. And so I wanted to make sure that I got on today and I talked about this case. This case, I'm not the only one talking about it. There are a lot of really big true crime YouTubers talking about this case and covering this case, but I wanted to talk about it too. And so here I am. Today's case takes us to Fruitland, Idaho. Population like just over 5,000 people. It's actually known as the Big Apple of Idaho, but it's a very quiet, small, tight-knit community where it's like that kind of town, right? Where we think that kids are going to be safe playing in their own front yards on a summer evening. Nobody thinks anything bad can or will happen there. It's the kind of place that we all want to imagine kind of still exists in this absolutely insane world that we're all coexisting in today. But on July 27th of 2021, that very idyllic image was ripped to shreds because on that evening, a beautiful 5-year-old boy, gosh, he has like the most beautiful big blue eyes. He's just so cute. He had this love for the moon and the stars. On that day, this boy vanished. His name was Michael Vaughan. His family actually called him Monkey, which is so cute. I call one of my daughters Monkey. And for years now, again, this happened. His abduction took place in 2021. And so for years now, his disappearance has sort of just been this absolutely gaping wound in the heart of that very small town. None of the cases that we talk about are just missing persons cases or murder cases. Nothing is just anything. And so this is not just a missing persons case. It's another case. It's another story. It's Michael's story that we can tell. And it's about monsters hidden in plain sight, as so many of these cases are, right? It's this web of lies that is so tangled that it's infuriating. And this family's fight for answers will absolutely just break your heart. It's honestly one of the most infuriating and bizarre cases that's being talked about and covered right now. So buckle up, because today we're asking another question that has haunted this community for many years. They've been asking this question for years. Where is Monkey? Let's unravel. So as always, before we get into the darkness of the stories, we have to talk about the light. And the light in this story is Michael. Michael is a little boy who had just celebrated his 5th birthday 1 month prior to him going missing. His mother, her name is Brandy Neal. She called him Monkey because he was just this rambunctious, full of energy kid, like hard to contain, that little ball of energy. She described him as energetic. She described him as very inquisitive. He always needed to know everything and ask why, how, He wanted answers. He wanted answers to absolutely everything. He loved Minecraft. Any of us parents, we know all about that. He loved Minecraft. He loved playing outside. And he had this fascination with the moon and the stars. He lived in the home with his mom, Brandy, and his dad, Tyler, and his baby sister, Aria. From the very second that Michael was reported missing, police were very clear. His parents, Brandy and Tyler, had been fully cooperative and absolutely 100% were not suspects. This was not a family abduction. This was not people who had done something and then tried to hide or cover it up. Absolutely not. This was 100% something else. On the day that he disappeared, Brandy was actually at work. It was her last day of work after like a long stretch, and she had promised Michael that her upcoming days off were for them and them alone. They were going to play together and be together and just do, mom and son kind of things. Around 4 p.m., she called home. Michael was home when she called, and he was actually telling her all about like the video games that he was playing. Everything was absolutely normal when Brandy called home at 4 p.m. But this phone call would be the last time that Brandy Neal would ever hear her son's voice again. And so this is where things get very chilling, because we're not talking about like this huge unexplained window of time here. That's not what this is. We are talking about minutes, a terrifyingly small window of time that a predator exploited. So I do want to get the map up here. We have the family home, and I'm not going to show the exact home, but the family's home was on Southwest 9th Street. Okay. And so it was at this home late afternoon, July 27th, and Michael is outside. He's doing what he's always doing. He's playing in the neighborhood. We know that around 6:30, he walked over to a neighbor's house asking if the neighborhood children could come out and play. And that neighbor had said no. And then they watched Michael walk back to the direction of his own home. And that is one of the very last normal moments that we know Michael Vaughan had. Police have narrowed the very critical window of disappearance to between 6:40 p.m. and 7 p.m. And so again, on Southwest 9th Street is the last place that witnesses saw a child matching Michael's description walking alone. At that time, he was wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt. He was wearing dark blue boxer briefs, and police later specified that those briefs had like a lime green stitching. And he was wearing flip-flops also at the time. When Michael was outside, his dad, Tyler, was inside. He was in a back room at the time. He was checking on Michael's baby sister, Aria, and he was also on the phone ordering a pizza. He estimates that he was occupied for no more than like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And when he came back outside, Michael was gone. Right in the middle of that terrifyingly tiny window at 6:47 p.m., neighborhood surveillance actually picked something up. We're going to drop another pin here on Southwest 8th Street, right? One block over from where Michael was last seen. 2016 to 2018, white Honda Pilot is seen leaving the area. So when Tyler realizes that Michael isn't there, he panics. He calls Brandy at work, and then he immediately calls 911, and the official call was logged at 7:21 p.m. The search for Michael was immediate, and it was massive. Fruitland Police, the Idaho State Police, the FBI, Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, and hundreds of community volunteers fanned out, searching absolutely everything they could. Parks, backyards, front yards, irrigation ditches, but they found absolutely nothing. They found no clothing, no shirt, no pants, no flip-flops, no sign of a struggle, absolutely nothing. Ferland Police Chief, his name is JD Huff. He actually later said that they knew almost immediately that this was something dark. Michael wasn't found in any of the places that a wandering 5-year-old might be found. He wasn't in a neighbor's yard. He hadn't fallen into a ditch. Michael was gone. He was gone. They started looking at it from a criminal aspect, like right away. For over a year, the case was agonizingly cold. It went cold. The reward grew to nearly $53,000. In March of 2022, police announced that they officially were working with new information in this case. They said there was a, quote, high probability of abduction, unquote, and get this, that they, quote, feel strongly they know who owns the white Honda Pilot, unquote. Imagine being in that small town, knowing that police think that the abductor is among them, but they're not naming anyone, right? You have police saying, yeah, we think we know who did it. He lives here. We can't tell you who it is. Imagine as a parent, the fear. I mean, this community was going through it. They were going through it. And then, actually, on the 1-year anniversary in July of 2022, after clearing over 1,000 leads, police held a press conference. They asked for help in identifying a new person, not a suspect, but a potential witness. I'm going to put this pin here, right? So this pin here, it shows in very close proximity to where Michael lived, right? We can see the pin where Michael lived on Southwest 9th Street. And then right up from that, we see a pin at Crestview Park. Okay, this was known as the splash pad. This specific area was known as the splash pad. Police released a very grainy photo of a man seen in the area around the time that Michael vanished. He was described as a white male, late 20s or early 30s. He was wearing black shorts and a white t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. They just wanted to know, really, if this man had seen anything because of his proximity to where Michael Vaughan had went missing. It felt like a long shot. It really did. You know, the case was getting colder by the day. It was Hail Marys at this point. They were really just throwing anything that they had out there that the public could help with and hoping that that the hook that they were casting would get bitten. And then in November of 2022, everything changed. Everything changed. In November of 2022, a credible tip came in. And this was not just some random call. It was not. Police said that this tip came from someone who lived in the house at 1102 Red Wing Street. Let's drop that pin here. 1102 Red Wing Street. This house, I'll try to show it in conjunction with where Michael lived. This house was less than half a mile away from his home. And it was being rented by a couple. And this couple was Stacey and, you know what, let's just go ahead and put their pictures up here. Stacey and Sarah Wondra. Here they are. Here they are. That's them. And on November 11th of 2022, police executed a search warrant on that home. The next day, the police could be seen bringing in the heavy equipment. They tore down the fence to get a tractor into that backyard. They brought in ground penetrating radar, which immediately detected anomalies in the soil. Then they brought in the dogs, multiple specially trained cadaver dogs from many different agencies, and every single one of them independently, quote, alerted to the presence of human remains, unquote, in that backyard. They were sure this was it. And so they dug for days, excavated the entire yard. They removed 250 yards of dirt 4 feet deep and meticulously sifted through every single handful. And they found nothing. They found no body. They found no remains. They found no physical remains of Michael. The scent of death was undoubtedly, unquestionably there. The dogs confirmed that, but the source of that smell was gone. And so police at this point were just left with this absolutely horrifying, gut-wrenching theory. Michael Vaughan was abducted, his life was taken, and he was buried in this backyard. And then before they got there, his body was dug up and moved. So who are these people? Who are these people who lived in this house of horrors, so to speak? Let's meet the cast, because it is a truly disgusting fucking circus. First, we have Stacey Wondra, 35 years old at the time. As police were digging up her yard on November 12th, 2022, she was arrested. The charge, felony failure to report a death. And let's be clear about what this charge means, right? The legal documents alleged that she knew that Michael was dead and she intentionally kept quiet, quote, with the intent to prevent discovery of the manner of death, unquote. She wasn't just silent. She was not just silent. Police believe that she was actively part of a cover-up. But then the case takes a very bizarre turn. Sarah is almost immediately found unfit to stand trial and is sent to a state hospital. So this starts to create stalls, and it actually does stall the entire case for like months and months and months. And then finally in March of 2023, she is suddenly declared competent again. And then just 1 month later, in a move that made the entire community's head spin, the prosecutor dropped the charge. Yeah, but hold on. Hold on. I know we're all screaming. Don't scream. Hold on. Hold on. This was not an exoneration. 'Twas not that. Okay? This was a very cold, calculated legal strategy. Okay? The charge was dismissed without prejudice, right? Which means that they can refile charges at any time. Okay? They cited a very complex Idaho Supreme Court case, which basically means they knew she couldn't report the death without incriminating herself in other crimes, like, say, helping to destroy evidence, maybe, just maybe. But they couldn't let her walk either. And so they actually ended up nailing her on some unrelated charge from April of 2022, which was months before her arrest in Michael's case. She, I guess at this case, this thing that we're talking about with her, she had pointed a gun at a guest in her home and then tried to hide the weapon in her parents' house. She pled guilty to aggravated assault and destruction of evidence. Anyway, she is now locked up at the end of the day. She's now locked up at the South Idaho Correctional Institution. And on this charge, she's not eligible for parole until next year, 2026. So she is in prison, just not for Michael. Not yet. And then there's her husband, Sarah's husband, this fucking guy, Stacey Wondra, 30 years old, with a rap sheet that includes, felony burglary, assault, theft, and substance abuse. He is a convicted felon who lost his right to own a gun, but also ended up just lying on a form at a pawn shop to get one anyway. That's a different fucking topic for today's world, isn't it? But this guy is our primary suspect. And Stacey is a talker. Stacey is a talker. Okay. When he was in jail on other charges, because there's other charges. Of course, there's other charges. Of course, there's other charges. This was in November of 2022. He actually got on a recorded FaceTime call with detectives and he sang. What Stacey was trying to do, what was cut a deal, right? He was trying to cut a deal to save his own skin by throwing his wife completely under the bus. He told police that he knows where Michael was buried. He knows. He actually guided them to the exact spot in his yard, and he claimed that he watched Sarah bury Michael's body there. He said Sarah knew that he was watching her do it. She didn't care. She knew that he was watching her, and she did it anyway. He gave them very horrific and very specific details. He told them that Michael's body was wrapped in a white or black trash bag. He told them it took half an hour to an hour to maybe hours to dig the hole. He was offering up his own wife on a platter to save himself. And you know what I think we should do? I think we should watch some of this interrogation footage together. What do you guys think? If you're into it, stick with it. If you're not into it, skip it. Skip to the next little chapter and just stay with me till the end of the story. But I think we should watch. Okay, so here's our guy. This is our guy, Stacey Wondra. Look at this specimen. Let's watch a little bit of this, shall we? Hear what he has to say.
Like the permissions to like.
No, it's not me, man.
Oh, okay.
No. We can probably get you in contact with the right person, but
They won't. They refuse to call, and I've literally been stuck at watch since Thursday night, and they told me that I was gonna have I was gonna be able to get off on Friday, but they didn't realize that it was Veterans Day.
yeah. Well, you gotta,
Can I utilize the restroom before all this? Like, I've really messed up earlier.
yeah.
I'm okay.
Feeling okay today?
I'm tired, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you will help me a little bit more. I'm over here. I'm in your home.
Okay.
So I need a little bit more direction about where Michael is at.
Go out the back door, or
Okay?
I can't. Can you turn the camera around so I can show you?
We're flipping around right now, stand by.
Right here.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm going out the kitchen door.
And that's some equipment.
That is some equipment. Okay. Where do I need to go?
Okay, face to the right. Like right where the dirt piles are.
Right where the dirt piles are. About how far off of the fence? Go ahead. Okay, walk over there and you point us to where it needs to be.
Okay. Now keep going out a little further.
Keep going out a little further. You're gonna have to climb
It's like right under that mound area.
It's right under the mound, about where at compared to the
So,
trees?
a little like right to the right of the trees area.
To the right of the trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
So,
bit. Where
can
the
you see-
door. So,
Okay, where at now?
now he's off the dirt mound. It's like underneath the dirt mound area.
Is about where he's standing?
Yeah, a little bit less, like closer to the house.
Come closer to the house?
Yeah.
And what is he wrapped in?
It should be. It should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage bag?
It would either be white or black. We only had two colors.
I want you to direct him from the fence where that orange thing in his hand is. Where do we need to stop it?
Right about there.
Right about there. Okay. All right. We will try there.
Okay.
Do you have any other suggestions for us, Stacey?
Like I said, that's where he was buried.
Okay.
That's the last place I had known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Okay. Well, we're gonna finish here first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
So does he need to go right or left? Or anywhere else?
That general area, that bucket's enough to dig, but you're gonna want to start digging underneath the dirt piles.
Okay. How far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug, to be honest with you.
About. Give me an estimate.
Maybe 4 or 5 feet.
4 or 5 feet? 4 or 5 feet, that's probably taller than me.
Like I said, you asked for an estimate, I'm giving you what, it's probably shorter than that. I don't have an exact idea.
Okay, when she dug the hole, was she standing in the hole?
She's standing outside of it.
Okay, and was she using a regular shovel?
I think it was a bull nose, or what do you call them, pointed ones.
Okay, and did the shovel, was she able to stand on the outside of the ground and the shovel able to reach the bottom of the hole?
Yes.
Okay, about how far down was the shovel in the hole?
I don't know, let's say, like 3 feet down, 2 feet down. I don't have like I said, I don't have an exact, measurement, to give you. I didn't pay attention that far.
That's okay. Okay, we will try where you suggested, and I will call you back. Okay, Stacey?
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Bye. I don't know what else happens here. Let's find out.
Are you here or what?
If they call us back, we'll come back and call you back into the thing.
Can you try to advocate and see if you can get a hold of, was one of the LT or or not LT because he's hunting, but the sergeant, and see if, but taking me away from the only thing that helps me with is being able to talk to my mom. And, all I want to do is talk to my mom. That's the only thing I really want. I didn't even barely get a chance to talk to her much last night because everything was so.
You are the prime suspect in the disappearance, abduction, and possibly unaliving of a 5-year-old boy, and you're complaining because they won't let you talk to your mommy? This is the kind of shit when I'm watching. I don't know. It's like the people who do the worst kinds of things are literally the biggest fucking babies in the real world. Like they have no sense of like all of these interrogations are like, oh, but they won't let me do this, they won't let me do that. But like, are you kidding? Do you know what you did? Do you realize what you did? And what you want your binky and you want to talk to your mommy? Stop. It's frustrating and annoying.
And see if you're allowed to make calls, and we'll go from there. I don't, like I said, man, I'm on the patrol side of it, so I don't really know what happens back here too much. So, but I'll give you my word that I'll go talk to him right now and see. So basically, all you want to do is talk to your mom,
I
right?
just want to call my mom. I have minutes on her side.
Okay.
So in calling her, I don't have to worry about them resetting a phone number for minutes or anything.
Okay.
I mean, she has a prepaid account set up on her number.
Okay. Well.
All right. Does he get them?
Welcome home.
Yeah. Fucking great.
Look at, I know, we got everybody and their mothers here, as you can see.
Yeah.
You know, and when we talked the other night, I shared with you, we're putting in motion a lot of stuff, right, Will?
Mm-hmm.
And say hi to the crew.
Stacey.
There is something about being a law enforcement officer, boots on the ground, these detectives and crime scene investigators who have to like do this kind of shit and like say hi to the crew, like trying to build that rapport with these kinds of human beings. That has got to be an absolutely exhausting feat. Like taking that mask off at the end of the day has got to be one of the most like just coming home, taking that mask off and being like, because this is pretend, this is make believe. They don't give a shit about this person based on what he's done, what he's hiding, what he's covering up, and they're just like, hey, Stacey, say hi to the crew that's here to find the body of the boy that you abducted and unalived. Like, say hi. That sort of masking has got to be just absolutely fucking draining on law enforcement officers. Like, I don't know how they do it.
How are you feeling?
Irritated.
Yeah, like, help us understand where you're at.
No, I'm just tired of being cooped up. I'm tired of being stuck in a little fucking cell and not getting any time out.
Who cares? How could you, as this kind of perpetrator, possibly think that anyone gives a fuck about your discomfort? It never ceases to amaze me it never ceases to amaze me. Who cares? Who cares? Which again is why I could never be a detective or a crime scene investigator or any sort of boots on the ground law enforcement officer, because who cares? Are you kidding? I don't want to sit on FaceTime with you and listen to you whine about how you're so sad because you're cooped up in a little space and you can't talk to your mommy. Who cares?
Yeah, we get it. Trust me. And so I'm going to turn the camera around, and all three of us are here.
Yeah, help us find the boy.
And let's go into your house first of all, okay? Just for a second. Get an idea. So Carson was out last night. We got here last night. And
How'd that go?
good. You know, I mean, you know,
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
he mentioned that he doesn't know really what's going on from his position, right?
Yeah.
Which is
You're just-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, it looks about the same. It has her car and what it looked like before, and there's like a trailer and
Oh,
yeah, her car's here.
I'm just
Where was that duct tape at?
turn the camera to the left of her car.
Over here?
Yeah, there was a bookshelf. Yeah, that's the duct tape roll, I think, or is that Scotch tape?
It's Scotch tape.
Yeah, no, that's not the right one. No, it wouldn't be on the table. There was a little stand.
Okay. Let me look around for it.
It was a tall bookshelf. It was a tall one.
Okay.
No, she must have gotten rid of it.
Okay.
What's on the side of her car?
This is her car.
Yeah, what's on the side of it?
It says we accept Venmo and PayPal.
Yeah, what's on the other side, like the front? What does that say?
It says love, hope, faith, taxi ride for today.
Hey Stacey, where was the tricycle at?
On top, well, turn the camera around. It was sitting on the boxes right up there.
Okay.
They rearranged all the boxes, so I mean, it was literally closer to the trailer on the right side. No. That side of the trailer, but
My lap.
yeah, your left, my right. But it was sitting, they did a lot of rearranging in the garage.
Lie down. All right.
So how long has she been in custody?
I'm not sure.
Is that why she wasn't answering the last couple nights?
No, I think last night was,
Or last night?
yeah, they held her. But, so question.
Yeah.
On, out front or out back here.
Yeah.
Trying to direct these guys, as you can see, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
They've had 3 cadaver dogs have all alerted to the backyard, but they're trying to narrow down the scent, and so any help you have.
So to be 1000% with you, where I directed you is the last place that I knew. That's literally the place that he was buried. Where that dumpster is, or where that bucket is right there is, I mean, that's in the area where I told you. I wasn't out there when she was burying him, correct, completely.
Okay.
I just had noticed the general vicinity, which is where that bucket, that loader is. That's
So we came out to this,
the fence.
see that mark on your fence?
Yeah.
We came out to that point, and we went down, how far did you guys go down?
About 3 foot. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We're down about 3 foot. Pretty deep.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. How close was he to the, it's like the box that was out there for sprinkler box? How close was he to the sprinkler box?
So, I mean, that's the best I got for you. I wish I could tell you, yeah, it's for sure over to the left. I mean, what I've gotten for sure is from where I told you guys. Trust me, I want him home. I want you guys.
Trust me, I want him home. I want you guys to find him. Get the fuck out of here. we're gonna skip a
I
little.
want him to be done as it is. So I mean, there's no way I have the energy.
Stuff of finding him, that kind of proves that, we can believe you more than we can believe Sarah.
Right. I mean, that's all the crap she's giving you, it's just that he's the one that dug the hole. But she's not giving you any specifics. I can give you the specifics, but there's no way with my height or my weight and my, I can't even mow the yard. There's no, I mean, I don't have I don't have the physical abilities. I mean, now I will after I get out of, doing what I'm doing, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I
What the fuck does that mean? Now I will after I get out of doing what I'm doing. What does that mean? You're gonna use prison as like your own personal fucking workout regimen? You think when you get out of prison you're gonna be
could have done.
Okay, yeah, and as long as we're able to find Michael and that goes hand in hand with what you told us,
Yeah.
then I would be led to believe you more than I would be led to believe Sarah.
Yeah.
And so if there's anything that you can help us out with about where to look, what they've done, if there's any specifics.
Anything else you want to see in the house while we're
Not. I mean, I wondered if my fishing poles were still in the garage, but
You want us to go check?
if you can,
there's more of that ass kissing. Pretending like, no, you're being so wonderful. You're helping us out so much. Thank you so much. But I mean, I get it. It's, it's what they do.
I think I seen him to the left of her car over there, sticking out with a red bag. It looks like. I think. Is that fishing poles? To the right.
Okay, I got this one.
Other right. There you go. Oh, that's a gas can. Okay, keep going down. Okay, there's one. Yep, that's one of them. Is there only one?
Yeah, there's only one, but
That's awesome. Yeah, that pisses me off too. Is there?
and then this is a box for Sarah.
Yeah, straight down.
I mean,
Okay. So it wasn't like.
And the good part there is you've been cooperative and help guiding us through this.
So here's my question for you.
Without his body, right?
What's that?
We don't want to leave here without his body, and your cooperation in helping us do that has been much appreciated, very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what do they see?
I don't know. They're just communicating to each other.
Oh.
But what were you going to say? Here's what?
No, here's the question I have is so like I said, my knowledge of where Michael was in our backyard. But then Sarah pointed out, well, he buried him in Carson's yard. Clearly you guys know that I'm not capable of digging a hole. Is there any way that, any thoughts that you guys have if that's the first thing she said, that seems kind of fucking a little bit awkward.
Yeah, well, what's interesting about it, and we agree with you, but what's interesting about it also, this was probably, Scott, what do you think? This is probably the deal she was going to go for. And like we told you up front,
She was going to roll.
We showed up with a search warrant for murder to search the backyard, and it wasn't 10 seconds. It was Stacey did it, and he killed and murdered the boy, or whatever the verbiage is. I wasn't there. That is on body camera. And automatically, you're the guy. Just as we predicted.
Yeah, you guys have met me. You guys have worked with me. I've been working with you guys. as big of a person as I was, I mean, do I really seem like that type of person that could do all this myself?
Do you want us to answer that question?
I mean, even if I,
We
no,
don't think you could have done this whole bit.
no,
No way.
not at all. There's no way. No. I would check.
Yeah, that's why the cool part that's going to be here when we do find him back here, you're the one that brought us here.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't want to leave here,
Yeah.
unless we have Michael.
Yeah.
Because that solidifies your statement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we've been honest with you,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's, we haven't, coerced you or, persuaded you to tell. We've just asked for, what's the one thing we've only asked for?
Tell the truth.
The truth. That's it. That's all. And here we are again at your house asking you, and you're being helpful, and it all, it's all recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
No questions that anybody is doing anything, that shouldn't be done. So there's a lot of grass being moved here. Do you think her family's, what's her mom and dad going to say? They haven't even shown up. Any reason why you would think that?
That's very, very unusual of them.
Yeah.
Her mom and dad, her dad is like always trying to like be a part of something, or always wanting to be, he always wants to see what's going on. So that's a very unusual act for them, just so you know. I was my mom, I was mind fucking myself because mentally I was fucking with my head because I was so exhausted. But I'm gonna call her back and so she can know that everything is accurate what I told you guys.
I'm over it. I mean, anyway, this is what police got from him when they were walking through all of this backyard shit with him, right? Trying to figure out who, what, where, when, why. Well, not really, but they were trying to figure out where Michael was in that backyard so they could bring him home to his family. And they got this description from Michael. They tried to be friends with him and make him feel comfortable and make him want to talk to them. But ultimately, everywhere that he directed them, there still was no Michael. So that's where we are right now with this. Let's move on. But at the end of the day, all of this shit that we just saw, which I had to skip through so much of it, was just Stacey talking blah, 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 right? All of this shit that Stacey fed them, all of that for this deal that, he was hoping to get, all of that fell through, right? It must have, because in 2024, Stacey gives an exclusive 2024 TV interview from jail. Yeah, from jail. And what does he say in that interview? Well, he actually denies everything in that jailhouse interview. Yes, he does a complete 180. He claims with a very straight face that he has, quote, never even heard of this kid, unquote. Yeah. He says he has no idea why police dug up his yard. And that it, quote, makes absolutely no sense, unquote. That's just me looking for the audacity. Is it in the room with us? The audacity? No. Yeah, the audacity, right? The absolute stomach turning lies this man is spewing. Well, the prosecutor, he wasn't buying any of this shit. And in October, right, last month of this year, 2025, it finally happened. Stacey Wondra was charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. He was serving time already in a federal prison in Arizona for that illegal gun charge and had to waive extradition to be dragged back to Idaho to finally face Michael Monkey Vaughan's music. But wait. It gets worse. Yeah, it gets worse because the two of them, Sarah and Stacey Wondra, well, they weren't alone in that house. No, of course they weren't. There were actually two other men living with the Wondras at that time. There was 32-year-old Adrian Lucien and 30-year-old Brandon Shirtliff. Police are clear. Police are very clear here, actually, in their statements. They state that they believe that both of these men had, quote, first-hand knowledge, unquote, of what happened to Michael. And Shirtliff, you're not going to believe this, before police publicly named him as a person of interest, he gave an interview to a YouTuber from a hot tub in North Dakota drinking a beer. Yeah, no kidding. No fucking kidding. Yeah. While this family is living in hell, this guy is soaking in a hot tub, running his fucking mouth. And what's his story? He points the finger right back at Stacey, of course. He claims that he, Sarah, and the other man living in the home, Adrian, were out that day. They were out. They were away from the home. And that Stacey was the only person left at the house. This is really just a circular firing squad of fucking liars, in my opinion. But he also added that the Wondras were religious people. They were religious people who hid behind their religion, according to him. And so the irony here is just absolutely sickening. The police have made contact and interviewed both Shirtliff and Lucien, but as of right now, neither of them have been charged with anything. So, through all of this filth, all of these lies, all of the disgusting behavior of all of these suspects, there has been one constant, unwavering light, and that is Michael's family. His mother, Brandy Neal, this woman is a warrior. She is a warrior because you see, Brandy Neal has absolutely refused to let the world forget about her son. And that's why we're here. That's why I'm here, telling her son's story in the best way that I know how. She has refused to let his case go cold. They still celebrate Monkey's birthday every June 24th with his favorite chocolate cake. His baby sister, Aria, who will never get to know him, her big brother, she opens his presents every year. They still hang his Christmas stocking every year. They are keeping Michael Vaughan's story and his memory alive, not as a victim, but as their beloved, vibrant son. And here's the part that just guts you, right? Brandy is actually battling a terminal illness herself. She is literally fighting for her own life while fighting for justice for her son. And she is terrified that she won't live to see it. And that breaks my heart into a million pieces. She has made a very desperate public plea, promising Michael that she will find him and begging anyone who knows absolutely anything to give her that one piece of information. Her fight has already changed the world. Because of Brandy's advocacy, Idaho passed Monkey's Law right? This is a new nationwide alert system for missing vulnerable people who aren't meeting that very strict criteria for an Amber Alert. She has created a lasting legacy for her son, and this is a law that will help save the lives of other children. This woman is a force. She is a force. Where is Michael? Where is Michael? So here we are, 3 years later, right from the arrest. The case is officially a homicide. The main suspect is charged with murder. The others are waiting in the wings for whatever fate befalls upon them. The prosecutor has stated that they are moving forward even without a body based on what they call, quote, volumes of circumstantial evidence. We've had way too many of these no body homicide cases lately. Way too many. Way too many. But there is no justice for this family without closure. And there is no closure until they can bring their son home. Michael's body still has never been found. These monsters that we've talked about today, one of whom is on tape admitting that he knows what happened to Michael, these monsters are still holding on to all of the answers that this family needs. The one thing that Brandy Neal is fighting for with absolutely everything that she has left in her. Everything. When the charges against Stacey Wondra were announced, Brandy said that the family was filled with very mixed emotions. She said that they pray that these people, these monsters, will eventually tell them where Michael is. He deserves to be home with his family. Brandy says that over and over. She deserves to have him home with her, and he deserves to be home, period. And they will never stop. His family will not stop until they have him home. And so I'm asking you to share Michael Vaughan's story. I want to keep Michael's face out there. And if you, any of you watching this, know anything at all, please make the call. The Fruitland police tip line is find Michael at fruitland.org. Honestly, a conviction in this case, even as it stands right now, a conviction, which I'm sure we could get a conviction here, but a conviction's not enough, right? This family, Michael's family, deserves to lay their son to rest. Imagine. They deserve to have him home, and these people do not deserve another single day of silence. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for the telling of Michael's story. I'm always so happy to have all of you here. I do have some fun stuff coming up. I also have Tyler McCain's trial coming up. I think it's supposed to start sometime next week, the 13th, if I'm not mistaken, but don't fact check me on that. I'm going to go back and look. But we've been following Nikki Chang-Se Lee's case for a little while, and that trial is starting soon. We'll be covering it. As always, I just love you guys so much for being here with me, for supporting me and encouraging me. I've been a little hard on myself lately, but we are our own worst critics. I know that. But the love and the support and the encouragement that I get from the community that I build here is always just the thing that keeps me doing this and making these videos. And I thank you guys and I love you guys for that. So until I see you guys again, please stay safe. Keep asking questions. And as always, keep unraveling. Love you.